Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth. Middleman.
Hello and welcome to the Middlemen of Jewels. I am Juro Emeka Madnago. Today on the show, we have Juro Jumoke Alaode James, who is making a case for prudence in spite of costly Asoebi prices. Juro Cyril Abaku, who is joining voices with Peter Obi on the need to cut the cost of governance. The debutant Juro Innocent Adunugba, who will be speaking on digital representation. And myself, I will be speaking on why Nigeria must get cracking for productivity. Stay with us. I'll be right back.
Middleman.
Welcome back to the Middlemen of Jurors. Today my case is on the Yoruba Asoebi. Let's discuss Yoruba Asoebi. Other cultures have caught on. Forget that Ebi means family. And Asoebi is supposed to be family and co, meaning uniform. Asoebi is now for family, friends, colleagues, and their own family, friends, and colleagues. I mean, if the boss's wife does not wear the Asoebi for a subordinate party, does she want to come looking different? And she may not get souvenirs if she doesn't. Anyway, the phenomenon is indeed beautiful and makes our event really colorful. Not talking about the very colorful makeup that cakes the faces of some and totally changes the looks of others. Asoebi can take an event to a higher class than just asking people to dress glamorous. And that's for me, who is extremely introverted. I maybe stop considering what to wear for days if the event doesn't have a uniform. But it's still a uniform when different people come in different variations of the Asoebi, depending on their financial muscles. I hear people get indebted to buy Asoebi. Is that true? Why? For showing solidarity? Okay. Why are they so expensive though? We're pretty much funding your party. It makes economic sense for the fabric sellers. I didn't realize that even the celebrants make money from it. No wonder we no longer take gifts to parties. The reverse is the case these days. Party guests are the ones who now go home with souvenirs. It's our money you are using to pay costs. One few wild we shall manage you. My verdict. You can wear the biggest gold in the world, and I will still think it's under costume jewelry. I don't even know expensive lace for just looking. What I see is how your outfit fits. So you will not catch me under pressure to join this bandwagon. But I have learned it makes the people who do it happy. In this one life that you have to live, make yourself happy. Don't just force it on others. You may even wonder why I'm discussing Asoebi today. I beg, Nigeria is hard. I'm protecting my mental health by focusing on the Monday. Go ahead. But let's check on you, Lou.
Well, you want to, as they say, shake the table.
No. The code for this year is no grief for anybody. No, shake the table was last year.
I remember a younger colleague, a friend of mine. She came, she said, what has she done now? Somebody she goes to the gym with. Just informed of her wedding. She said, no, that'd be nice. The next thing was on the WhatsApp group. They have imposed that Asoebi levy. They have said, when are you picking your one? You know, they put it in a way that she'll be the only one that does have money to buy. The young lady didn't know what to say. How much was she earning? The Asoebi was around, is it about 8,000 or 9,000?
Yes.
Asoebi?
Yes, Asoebi.
100,000 naira.
Yes, I absolutely agree.
Even up to $1 million.
Some of such where they don't last the office for.
Yes, sir.
Let's not go there.
Not the marriage. For some reason, I'm talking about the need for Nigerians to have sense. Honestly speaking, the Asoebi thing, like she said, desire to solidarity, to belong. You don't want to look different. You don't want to call you so know that you are passing through financial difficulties, and so because of that, people get indebted. It's not just indebtedness. So people even go over and above themselves to do what you don't expect them to do, just if only to have
your salary is 50,000. You're buying Ashwebi 90,000.
But what do you do, like in the case of the woman who was, a 70-year-old woman who was cursing people at her party
You
in
don't
London?
go. You don't go.
Well, but people were already eating.
Well,
Well, I have a different opinion.
okay.
Let me not name the church, but they allow people to come wed if you so choose with your parents, sponsors, just 8-10 people. And colleagues of this lady, friends, are now on her case. Why did she go to wed so quietly, so privately, without giving them the opportunity?
To wear Ashwebi. Yes.
I would have thought this one got the sense you are preaching.
Yeah, so there are different people, like I mentioned, that somebody who is extremely introverted like myself would rather not even be invited for your wedding. Let it be your close family members and leave me out of it, right? But there are some people who are excited. They'll be asking you, Kosi Patini.
Yeah.
They want the Ashwebi.
Yeah.
I know somebody who is not around, but they will collect the Ashwebi and keep for her. Yes, because the solidarity, if I do not buy Ashwebi, how will you buy my own?
Yeah.
So whatever seeks you, whatever makes you happy, do it. I'm just saying, do not enforce it on the rest.
There are those who every weekend must have a one party to attend or the other. So that, it's like they actually, if you open a wardrobe, they have up to 10, 15, hundreds of Ashwebis that they
My
use.
mother.
And they wear it once after spending almost 20K to make one.
That's the problem that I have with it. If I buy dresses for myself, I will wear my clothes over and over again.
Yeah,
But
sure.
for Ashwebi, why am I wearing the hefty gear, you know? I'm dressed in Ashwebi today just to show that, well, we don't. Yes.
And it looks a bit like my own Ashwebi.
You know, there's nowhere to wear the Ashwebi to, because I normally will not go in traditional except to a wedding. And every wedding has its own Ashwebi. So it means you only wear it once. You know, it doesn't make it
earlier
sense.
when I was younger, I had a stack of unsold Ashwebis in my wardrobe. You are selling, I'll just buy. And I will appear at your wedding without the Ashwebi.
Yeah,
No, I won't buy it if I'm not going to wear it. My mother's wardrobe, she said to me she had never gone to the market personally to go and buy Ashoke. All the Ashoke in our wardrobe is from Ashwebi.
You know, when I was small, I mean, let me just say this here. I'm from a place called Okrika in River State. So,
Okrika.
we used to call it sorry. Vera cloth. You know, if someone died, you wear sorry. Sorry is the Ankara you buy for burial. So later on, I'm glad you said other cultures have cotton. We don't put Ashwebi.
Ashwebi Yoruba.
Wait now, we've corrupted it to first was Ashwebi, now is Ashebi.
Ashwebi.
And what Ashebi means what they want. So you know Ashebi.
You know, in Yoruba, Ashwebi is the person who does it.
But the thing is, I mean, like Jumoke said, sometimes when you buy the cloth and attend the event, you are saying, I identify with you and I support what you're doing. But when it becomes a drain on your purse and will make you do what you normally wouldn't have done, then
you don't have sense. Then you don't have sense. When we return, Jura Emeka will be talking about the need for Nigerians to become more productive and resourceful. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Middleman.
Welcome back. Nigeria must get cracking productively. The innovative, resilient, and enterprising drive of Nigerians needs to be revved up at this time of national need. With a high exchange rate and low purchasing power, it has become imperative to adopt a paradigm shift. Therefore, Nigeria must upscale technical education that will galvanize the innate creative abilities of the citizens. On cable news network CNN over the Yuletide, a news feature bulletin showcased innovative exploits of Nigerians in different areas. CNN went to different markets, met with technicians, artisans, and they showcased the things they had done to take care of things like power supply, how they had helped their customers to deal with such issues. Though China is regarded as the factory of the world, Nigeria can increase its productive capacity in order to reduce dependence on imports. My verdict: there is no need to delay Nigeria's industrial revolution.
That's a big one, sir. You know, for us to have industrialization on a scale that makes us globally competitive, we must have learning centers that are feeding in mind of feeding big corporate, feeding industries. But unfortunately, Nigeria has found a way to make use policy, wrong policy decisions to push a lot of companies out of the system. Nigerians are individually very productive, very resilient, charismatic, and apparently visionary. But when it comes to the thing, there is all. I mean, you keep places to go to the banks. You will see these people that are just lying funny. Or send that. Then come on, they say, let's hear you. After we represent, they say, we are sorry, we are not able to fund this thing at a time like this. As you
Can I just
they call their PCR people, and right before your hands, in a lot of weeks, somebody is beginning the thing you got to drink the debate. I've had it not once or twice.
Can I buttress your point? A top executive in one of the telecoms companies left for Canada with his family. And guess what? He went into the production of agege bread. And the thing is selling so well. In Canada. Would any Nigerian bank have fund your idea of agege bread? And you know the interesting thing? Even the Igbos are they're attracted to it. What kind of bread is this?
May I disagree with that example? Because there's agege bread in every corner that you turn. It's like pure water. Yeah, Nigeria, with the working balance in Canada is new, is innovative. We're looking for it. We want it. We need it.
Yeah. So, but can I give you another example? Look at Japan. I was reading somewhere the other day that Japanese have a culture that they don't buy clothes used by other people. They never buy used clothes. But in recent years, Japanese have now started buying used clothes.
Why?
Well, economic and cultural, the culture has shifted. So they look at that, well, by the way, what is actually wrong with wearing used clothes?
You see, even that did a bread example may work. The thing is, did we even try it? Did we even test it and make up? You see, because the point is, for the person who grew up in Agege or Mende or let's even say Iyanapaja or Iyanoba in Lagos, and have migrated from Iyanoba to Lekki, you have not upskilled and packaged that bread for that person. You've not packaged that magic bread for people living in Ikoyi, because the reality is that in our own cultural review, for example, Yoruba is Yoruba. There should be things they pour there rich way. So that book knew that is what people grew up knowing. For example, I'm sitting across board, whether you're rich or you're poor. So even that they give the person, have you been able to package it to suit that sentimental and what's around, in Nigeria? It's a positive movement across the world.
In Nigeria, across the world, I agree. The agege bread is a staple already here. Every corner you talk to, we just named it agege bread. It's loaf bread that we call it.
See that in different parts. I did. It got to me one area.
I think we should be industrialized about like it's something that I see as one of the basic human needs. We hear food, shelter, clothing. And I tell people that one of us here are pleased from what we have beneath to outside to be imported. Maybe, I don't know for this, what this was for now.
And I
At a remote. But then, how do we vouch for the cotton?
my own is important.
Good. So my point is, every human being seen wears clothes. How come our textile companies?
They left.
The buildings are still where they... No, there is indigenous. The company is not the left. The buildings are indigenous. The companies were indigenous. Housing models now.
Yes, because by the time you calculate this, but we are using, just like church, we tell you that when we're using 100 million a year to power the generators, is the amount of money that those organizations use for power alone, they become less competitive with the imported counterparts of these products. So to produce toothpick in Nigeria, a pack of toothpick may come at a cost of 10 naira. No, and if you're adopting from Ghana or Trinidad, when there's constant electricity, the same tap may come down to 5 naira. It's not because we are crazy that we import. It's because it's cheaper to import.
Right, finish something. With parties, we are not really that's our creative choices. Can I tell you that?
Just provide electricity, provide constant electricity with our idea, and you will not have relative or
Do you know, can I let you know something? Do you know you can actually provide your own electricity without going to solar or adding to generator?
for more please.
Okay, let's be creative. Do you know there are people who use their car batteries for dual purposes? Do you know that there are actually devices now that are being developed by creating Nigerians that can power the TV?
Well, we're talking about power batteries, so we're not talking about batteries.
If we cannot deal with the basics,
Okay.
how do we scale up doing big things? What I'm talking about is creativity. We must actually launch Nigeria's industrial revolution. Because when you look at it,
We are beginning of that.
the past started from heavy industry.
Do they have zero electricity like we do in Nigeria? What do you have to put that generator?
Over centralization.
Yeah.
What's the distance from Lagos to Kainji?
The big problem.
Now the distance, and we in Lagos across maybe 12, 13 hours journey by road rely on, let me use the word residue, because before the electricity gets here,
You generate it in Lagos. They send it first to travel to Tarara or to Kevin, and then some is lost on the way. Then you Kevin, they now decide to be able to send it to. So again, my point is,
what was the source of electricity in Kainji is river, dam, turbines. Are there rivers in Imo? Are there rivers in Anambra?
and there are
Rivers in Oyo. If there is a small river in Oyo, dam it to power its immediate community.
Road to office will just solve
You don't need to wait for the light all the way from Kainji, from Shiroro, from Egbe, and as vast as this country is, after counting these 3 dams, a river as vast as Benue, all the way from Cameroon, is damless.
Anyway, there's now a government policy that allows, state governors to generate electricity. Hopefully, we have regional governors come together and say, okay, Southwest will generate 100 megawatts or power.
They'll implement that policy in another 10 to 20 years.
Just provide power will be okay.
Oh well, when we return, Juror Innocent Abduluba will be discussing e-voting in the Senate. Send me down.
Middleman.
Welcome back. My case is electronic voting in the Senate and other houses of assembly across the states. The Senate is a college of representatives voted by constituents across the country to represent their interests, yearnings, and aspirations. The Nigerian Senate, center of there passes motions, bills. They confirm nominees from the president, and they take decisions on national issues, predominantly using voice votes. Now, this is a global practice not peculiar to Nigeria alone, where we hear ayes and nays. Under Senate leader Atman Lawan, minority ayes have sort of won the day against majority ayes. Notably in bills like the AMCOM bill, lecturer bill, PIB. Now, there are 3 types of voting in the Senate globally: voice votes, signing of the register, and electronic voting, usually via device installed in the Senate. Verdicts. My verdict is this: for effective representation, for people to be sure that their representatives have voted in their interests, I would suggest Nigeria goes the way of e-voting from the Senate, the House of Reps, and across the state houses of assembly.
The representative that did not vote my interest, what am I able to do about them? Nothing. Because the long process of recalling themselves will just discourage everyone. I absolutely agree with you that sometimes the eyes have not been as loud as the noise, and then the Senate president to say the eyes have it. Absolutely agree that with Igbo, but I think they've not started doing it in the Senate, or is it the House of Representatives? They started doing it because they started doing electronic voting to the extent that they have. So the extent that who voted for and who voted against.
The current deputy speaker, Benjamin Khan, was that spokesperson in the night assembly. I remember receiving that documentary for where I worked before, did the quality checks, and I think they said it was an innovation they had brought into the House of Reps, and that it was various voting. It was going to get dashboard on the wall, and that when it worked, it will show Nigeria to see it live. And then I'll go back and check the iPad to know how that, on several bills and everything. My brother, till today, they are still being eyes and knees. The reality is that I'm glad that raising this point, because those network crossing in during Maker's case, if it begins at the head, there is possibility and promise that it could percolate
To the states.
and it could become a national culture. Because electoral transparency amounts to fraud.
True.
Amounts to audit and regularity. But the question is, we are not even it's there. Why is it not working? Back in the contract. Not in the installation. And then it was announced, why is it not being used? Why are we not asking this question? Why is it not being used? On the first place, if is it a need to civilization? When you watch how it is done in the when we say, with your people, the topology of that right? If you are, I don't say it's another thing. That's the one just out. And the government entity that in the ability that book videos for television reality shows. And the reality is, let me tell you, in university with professor at my university, he invented an e-voting technology, and not only is that they've done that, but it's project management. The university students, whatever, junior, they use the technology. Whatever happened in Terry and on this in the east and west in down south, we have what we call Asian National Congress for example. I'm a job. In the they say they don't present on this. I showed them that this will work. They said, okay, all these elections better if they voted. Even when anyone might vote, and they fight. So even as leadership came into being by e-voting. So those times like not possible. It is making it very possible. It is available. These people, you need to be there once, nobody. So please, what do you mean by these people? We would feel no. That they want to bid. You said the summit was right, and they will not adopt it. Don't have my. They will not adopt it.
So now, what's what they adopting? Who's the employer? Where is the employer? Here, the employer. But you see, we Nigerians were busy looking for.
Well, if we are now successful, that is the wanted.
Yes.
And the devil is
After I was my fellow level, but listen, it's like utmost important.
It is.
Because when the followership of all the leadership accountable, say, power can be still better.
Well, sadly, it has become a cliche in Nigeria saying power belongs to the masses. The elected few are the opulent and powerful class. I think we'll be taking a break now so that when we come back, the last but not the least, General Cyril Abako will be examining post-courtesy in governance. Please join us again.
Middleman.
My case cost cotton in governance. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party in last year's presidential election, Peter Obi, has said that what Nigeria needs is not just a slash in the budget or funds to be made available to people traveling in government, but a total, more far-reaching cotton in the cost of governance. For context, President Bola Tinubu earlier this week approved that the cost of travels
among some of the presidents of federal government, it cut by 60%. He went as far as saying that if the president was traveling, or vice president was traveling, the first lady was traveling, or the vice president was traveling, the number of persons to go with them would be sometimes 20, sometimes 4, and so on and so forth. But even that has generated a lot of debate. The question is, what is 60% of what? Nobody has addressed that person. And, so that is by the way. And then, but what Peter has said is that the cost of governance, the number of aides hired in the first place, the amount of money spent on recorded expenditure, that is really what must be cut. My verdict. This government must quickly sell off at least 70% of its aircraft in the presidential fleet. The so-called presidential year that was bought last year should be resold to a willing buyer, and the money brought back to fund more productive sectors. Then, government must use the authority to track spending, see the budget that has already been passed, to track who gets what, how, and why.
You saw a debate that and how she didn't even know that it was a crime for her to pass billions through personal accounts.
Is that what?
Yes, she didn't know. She was arguing with the people who were telling her that she was wrong.
Maybe last night, I think it is from the Bureau of Procurement, Public Procurement, saying that he was invited for their induction, and he give them lectures on this. Maybe erroneous to say
That I will not know. It was one of my excuses. It was one of my excuses. Also, she now also threatening that if you slap me, heads will roll. Like we tell everybody in contact state, if you don't know what we could that burns down their house. What we thought that burns down their house, she will tell us. Now, remember Nigerian delegates to, was it COP28 in Dubai, that if you were around the web picking and talk like, what's happening? Because Dubai has banned Nigerians from coming. Government officials,
Front back door.
to carry Nigerians to Dubai. But this presidential fleet, it was an April campaign in 2015.
I remember.
That Jonathan had 9 jets in the presidential fleet. They will sell it. Brian came into power and said, after a long time, then everybody started complaining. Oh God, I don't do what you campaign and said you would do. We will send some of them to the Air Force. Look. Let me not say what's on that.
The aircraft in the
They don't have a serious government.
are actually maintained by the Air Force. Am I correct? Because of course they are everywhere.
anyway, I have the number. In foreign trips, the first lady is entitled to about 10 people. The vice, 15.
You see that? Sorry, you didn't hear about the number. You don't
I'm coming. But my worry is the wives of the president and vice command more public-funded entourage than traveling ministers.
Jesus Christ.
You can just check it on your phone. So but when we talk of cutting cost of governance, the traveling contingent for me is a microcosm. If my salary was 1 million, I have a particular lifestyle. Now my salary is 400,000. I will have a.
Reduce your lifestyle.
If Nigeria is broke, it's erroneous for the government to.
The lifestyle. And then talk about.
If we are this broke, heavily globally indebted, we should be visibly seen to be living Spartan-wise by running a unicameral legislation. There's no need for House of Rep and Senate. Each people with their senior special advisor in descendants.
But the way we do the figures, in our 2024 budget, because it's no longer an appropriation bill, of 28 trillion, 9 trillion is for debt servicing. It's not paying of debt or debt servicing. 7 trillion is for recurrent expenditure. A lot of it is salary of these aides that you're talking of, and then feeding the presidency, and then maintaining on our big vehicle convoy. The person that you are paying to go and sell presidential fleets, just when he was announced as winner of the election,
He had once been inaugurated when he came back to Lagos, and the convoy was like it was President Biden coming to Nigeria. I beg you, let us go home.
Oh well, that's about the size of our offering today on the middlemen. We'd like to thank you for being a part of the show. Here at this back in Jumoke Amalade James. Juro, thanks for being there. It was like, it was such a joy to have me make a debut after such a long time.
Oh, thank you.
And then to remake Amadunagum.
Thank you very much.
Always for your discussing very much in peace. Thank you also for staying with us. You can follow us on our social media handles. We're Enterprise TV 7. That's across YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and all of them. You can also visit our website at www.enterprisetvnews.com. Until the millennium coming away again, it's by Shamak.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.